Awkward silence doesn't stand a chance. He can fake laugh during Schindler's List. He can make Dane Cook think he's funny. Fran Drescher thinks he's a little much. He believes fake laughter is the best fake medicine. His laugh acts as a mating call for hyenas.
My laugh isn't always fake, but when it is, it's on the box score. And it starts now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. They are the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, things got all real in the man cave today as you shared your opinions with the boss, maybe foolishly, on how good a boss he actually was and laid it all on the table. Fritzy, it seems like you were able to vent a little today, am I right?
I definitely was. It was a nice opportunity. You don't get that very often in any line of work, but here we are on national radio and TV, and a chance to just kind of let loose a little bit and take a couple of pokes at Dan. How could you resist? You don't know when the next opportunity to do that's going to be.
Before we jump in, let's take a listen as Dan let you guys dish it.
Am I a good boss?
Very good boss.
Fritzy, am I a good boss?
Absolutely. I just like when you're singing, dancing, and being silly, and you can be difficult. But as you should, you demand perfection. If you think, we need a reminder every once in a while that every day's the Super Bowl, or we're slacking off, or not paying full attention.
Seton, am I a good boss?
Yeah, you're a great boss. I mean, everyone has, like, quirks, you know?
What's my quirk? What's the number one that bothers you?
The one thing that I always know is coming is that whenever something really good or big happens for the show, sometime in the next, 2 weeks, we're going to get spoken to. Yeah, it's he's got a long track record of this. Like, we rang the closing bell for the stock exchange. The show got picked up on TV. The show, any big sort of milestone event that happens with the show, sometime immediately following that, we get a little talking to about how we can't just sit back and we have to keep pushing forward and hurry up and blah, 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 this and that, which I get, it's cool, but it's always like, all right, well, just try not to be the guy that causes it this week. Like, don't mess up really bad, so now you're the reason everyone's getting yelled at. That's the thing you want to avoid.
Seton's right. It happens once in a while. Like, let's say we added something really cool about the set or something, a New York set or whatever it may be. In the next couple days, Dan will yell at us when we didn't do anything necessarily wrong, but it's almost like an opening to say, hey, get your act together because we're stepping it up. You better step up. And he'll find some little thing as the jumping off point and then holler at us, but it's almost, it's an insecure thing. Like, I'm letting you know that I'm concerned about this next big step, so you better be concerned too.
Now, the question is that we haven't really been spoken to like that in a while.
Right.
Does that mean that
nothing's good?
Nothing really good is happening with the show?
I hope that's not the case. That's a good point, though. But I'm hoping by the fact that we're addressing what we thought might be coming, or at least I did, leading up to a little vacation time, that will hopefully suppress any issues over the next couple of days. Now that we threw it out there, if he does it, we already kind of, we're expecting it, and we kind of gotcha, we knew that was coming anyway. So I'm hoping that keeps him from having any kind of last-minute attitude before we hit break.
Seton, are you nervous about doing a segment like that right before vacation?
Well, actually, we were all, earlier today, we were sort of blaming Fritzy for saying, like, dude, what's wrong with you? We're heading into a break, and, we're just about to get a little bit of time off, and you're going to do something like this. You pretty much guaranteed that we're going to get torn a new one sometime in the next 2 days.
Actually, Paulie is the first one who said, you really haven't tore into us in a long time. I was like, I thought it was Paulie. The caller said that Dan can get angry at times. Then Paulie brought it back to us. I'm like, what are you doing?
McLovin, you didn't get a chance to share your answer. Would you like to take this opportunity to kiss his tuchus?
How do you know I'm going to say something positive? I mean, I am, because he's a great boss. Because he's demanding, but fair. You know one thing I like about Dan? He will yell at you, but he'll always come back like a half hour later and tell you how much he thinks of your work. You know what I mean? Like he subtly gets it in there.
No.
Not always.
I don't know what that means.
Not always.
Once in a while.
He doesn't. I don't know that I've ever had the talk with you. You know how much you mean to this show. I've never heard those.
No. He never actually utters those direct words to you. He lets you know in subtle ways, like
ways.
Like he'll just not yell at you 10 minutes later. It's like, oh, we've gone 20 minutes without you yelling at me. You must love me.
Some form of obscenities directed towards me. Is that?
Yeah.
Paulie, you told Dan you do certain things to change his mood. Care to share any of those with us?
You know, it's hard to put my finger on, but it varies from day to day. But if he comes in a bad mood, my whole mentality is I got to get him out of this mood before 9 o'clock Eastern. And usually it's like a lot of distractions, a lot of like hijinks. I don't care if I have to get kicked in the balls by Michael Strahan, I'll do it. Whatever it takes. Seton knows it too. Seton's got a good feel for it. If Dan's in a real salty mood, the bad thing to do is sit back and let it fester. You have to attack Dan's mood. It's like that Japanese book about when you attack
Art of War.
And if Dan's mad, don't hide because that'll just let it blossom.
You sort of hit it with nut shots. That's usually the #1 thing.
Right.
Somebody has to get hit in the nuts quick, hopefully by Dan's hand, and then you could do other things like buy breakfast or lunch, or you have to sort of throw yourself on the grenade.
Well, maybe some bonding over a World Cup watch party. Paulie, any plans for another exciting get-together for the World Cup?
Well, I'm going to an Irish pub in my town, and everyone's welcome to come. I mean, everybody. But the guys live pretty far away. It's really tough at a 4 o'clock afternoon thing. Everyone's invited.
The United States faces Belgium today, and we know one famous Belgian, the muscles from Brussels, Jean-Claude Van Damme, star of Time Cop. But do you know any other famous Belgians? Why don't we play a game of Belgian or not Belgian? Oh, Seton, let's start with you. He's the actor from Big Bang Theory, Johnny Galecki, and he's just crazy. Actor Shia LaBeouf. Tell us, Seton, who's Belgian and who's not Belgian?
One of those two is Belgian?
Yes, correct.
I'm going to go Shia.
I'm incorrect. Shia LaBeouf is from Los Angeles. Johnny Galecki is Belgian. McLovin, you're next.
He screams Belgian.
Yeah, of course he does. He killed Apollo Creed in Rocky, actor Dolph Lundgren, and she's known for her role in Breakfast at Tiffany's, actress Audrey Hepburn. McLovin, who's Belgian and who's not Belgian?
Well, my first reaction was Dolph Lundgren, everyone knows, is Russian. Now, I don't know if it was... but then it also dawned on me that Dolph Lundgren, I think, is Swedish or some sort of Nordic tribe. So I'm going to go Audrey Hepburn. But Audrey Hepburn, the Hepburn family's from Ireland. Oh, anyway, I'll say Audrey Hepburn.
You're correct. They are from the Brussels, the Hepburns. Lundgren is from Sweden, correct. Paulie, you're up. He's the singer-songwriter known as Gautier, and he or she haunts your sweet dreams, Annie Lennox. Paulie, who's Belgian and who's not Belgian?
Wow, I'm a huge Annie Lennox fan, so this is easy. Gautier.
Gautier is absolutely Belgian, and of course Lennox is Scottish. And finally, Fritzy, a couple of stars from the court. Former #1 ranked Justine Henin, and she's in the International Tennis Hall of Fame, Monica Seles. Tell us, Fritzy, who's Belgian and who's not Belgian?
I am going to go with Henin being Belgian.
You are absolutely correct, Justine Henin from Belgium, and Seles is, of course, from Serbia. Great job, guys. Stay right there. Coming up, Vin Scully is trending in the man cave. We will explain.
And the Netherlands come from behind yet again at these finals.
Russell Brand with the call. Actually, I don't know who that is with the mothership. And I love Katy Perry.
Welcome back to the box score. The boss, a huge fan of Ross Dyer's call over the weekend. Paulie, is this one of the rare times where you've booked a guest merely because he made Dan chuckle?
You know, it's not that often, but sometimes it's a play-by-play guy. I think we had a guy who called an Auburn game, and it was just a great call, not so much a funny call. We've done it a few times before. If we play a call like 4 or 5 times and the boss gets a kick out of it, and there's something you can go with it. Like when I was booking Ross, I thought to myself, you know, what are we going to ask him about besides the call? But then the World Cup kind of takes that all away. We could ask him a few questions about calling stuff. And plus with Vin Scully today, you have a play-by-play trend which he could ask about calling soccer compared to other sports. Dan can usually handle that kind of lifting.
Well, Ross did join the show today, and of course, Dan hit him with the hard-hitting questions.
Could we get Passion Bucket somehow into the broadcast today, Ross?
We could just explain it to me a little bit.
Let's say Argentina, Lionel Messi's Passion Bucket is filled. He's excited. The crowd, you can feel this. It's like it's a passion bucket filled of excitement here at the World Cup.
Okay. All right. Well, I will try.
Can you do one more favor for me, Ross?
Yeah, of course.
Just say, Katy Perry, I still love you.
Katy Perry, I still love you.
That was great. Passion Bucket's had like a downslide lately. It hasn't gotten a lot of pub, but it's about time to bring it back on the world stage. And I think Ross will not do it because he wants to keep his job.
Paulie, as you mentioned, you had legend Vin Scully on the show today, and he shared a great story about having some trouble on social media.
I said to the audience, Shane Victorino has been twitting and sent a twit because I didn't know, and I assumed that if it's Twitter, the message itself is twit. Well, it went viral. People thought it was the funniest thing in the whole world. I said, by the way, could somebody tell me what the heck a hashtag is? Well, that went viral.
I think that Vince selling himself a little short there because it was a good joke with like the hashtag and the twitting, but he was dropping viral like you wouldn't believe, where he's like, and then that went viral, and then this, and then that went viral too. And it's like, all right, I think he knows he's a little more savvy social media-wise than he's really letting on.
Everyone out here was completely overwhelmed that you got Vin Scully, Fritzy. How long did it take to get him on the line?
We've been working on Vin for years. We always got, friendly responses back from Dodgers or, any of his, as far as his representation. They just said, he doesn't really do a lot of these interviews. He's not available. There was always a different reason. They always got back to us in a timely fashion, but it was always just can't be done. He's not going to be able to do it. And finally, we got a note the other day that he was willing to join us, and it was great. It was a long time coming. It's been several years.
Brock, I always wonder when we have something like this, what changed in the booking process? Because we've been asking for him literally for years, like probably 8, 9 years, and he didn't come on. And why this time did he agree to come on? My guess is that a PR person at the Dodgers said, my God, this guy's never going to stop emailing me. I'm going to ask Vin Scully to do this because 15 minutes of Vin Scully's time saves me 40 or 50 emails per year.
Well said. Yeah, I tend to harass a little bit in a respectful way, but
respectful harassment.
I think Paulie's onto something where it's like, if it means a lot less calls and emails and making him crazy just to have Vin do this interview and move on with his life, it's probably the better way to go.
Like Andy Dufresne in the Shawshank Redemption, just sending those letters. Here are your books. We consider the matter closed. Coming up, the Danettes talk about some changes on the other side of the break. Welcome back to the Box Score. As we heard earlier, you might not be a big fan of everything the boss does, but what about the guy sitting right next to you? We asked you what you would change about your fellow row partner. Let's see if you know what they said in this edition of...
Know Your Row!
Let's begin in the all-too-powerful back row. McLovin, what did Fritzy say he would change about you?
God. Fritzy's not big into changing other people. Maybe he would like it if I never put up the separator between him and me.
Was it the building of partitions?
That he chews a little too loud. Although sometimes he'll take his food into another section of the place because he doesn't like me commenting about his food when I say it smells good or what do you got there? What are you eating? He gets really upset about his food, but there is some loud chewing that goes on.
I'll preface this by saying I love McLovin. We all have our little quirks. I probably have 1,000 of them for every one that he has. But when he's enjoying his omelet or his salad or whatever he's having for breakfast or lunch, you know, he unfortunately can't make fun of me because I just starve until 4 in the afternoon, and then I'll have like Brontosaurus burgers when I get home.
Dude, I don't even eat here. I eat in the back.
I know, well, lately, but there have been times, especially breakfast, that he'll eat here. And then,
Notorious loud eater.
He'll start breathing very heavily, and God bless him, he's enjoying his food. But you guys asked me to pick one, so I went with loud chewing.
Brock, could I jump in? The front row, do you mind if we jump in here for a second? I am blown away by that answer by Fritzy, because Fritzy is one of the loudest open-mouth chewers I've ever been around in my life. And for him to call out McLovin, I was blown away because both of them do that.
Well, yes, they sort of cancel each other out because they are the 2 loudest eaters ever. Fritzy, notorious soup slurper,
and open mouth chewer.
Open mouth chewer, definitely.
Wow.
And he has no realization that he does that.
Yes, I've never heard that loud chewing. No one has ever said that to me.
We thought it'd be a little neater because you guys shared a space. And then, like, you feel like you get overrun by McLovin.
Now I'm wondering all the other people that I've eaten with that think that about me, that just didn't have the courage to
I'm doing you a favor.
Out loud. Wow. How about that?
Let's go to the front row. Seton, what did Polly say he'd change about you?
Oh, man. Can't be a very long list because I'm pretty perfect.
Of course.
Man. I don't know. Probably that I'm a little edgy, maybe. I get a little salty. Would that be it?
Was it saltiness?
I don't have any problems with Seton, so this is a tough one. I'm going to say I'm going to change something about him that he's never had before. I'd give him a tan.
I said I would give you a tan because I couldn't think of anything to change. There's something that could never happen. You be tan.
Okay, now if I was able to get out in the sun a little bit more, well, this is a pretty solid base for me. I mean, look at that.
That's savage for you,
right? I mean, am I right or am I right? This is a pretty mean tan I got going.
I stand by my point. I would love to see this guy roaring tan.
Yeah. Hold on. Turn it down there, Powder. Back to Fritzy. What did McLovin say he'd like to be different about you?
Other than not wearing underwear, but that shouldn't really affect him, except when our knees kind of bang together a little bit under the table. Maybe I'm gonna go loud typing. The way I peck at the keyboard must be pretty annoying, unless he's got something that's even more annoying than that I do. And I'm sure there's
loud typing.
Fritzy has a habit of asking or mentioning my food during lunch. Like, hey, what you got there? Chicken parm? I hate that. Why didn't you stick with it?
I have mentioned that before, and I am aware of that. I didn't think he was going to go back to that one, but he has directly complained to me about that. Like, I'll say, hey, what do you got, a little omelet there or whatever? He's like, he just can't stand anyone referring to his food, what he's eating.
It's usually because you haven't eaten yet. I know you're starving and you want some.
So I'm asking detailed questions about it. But he made it clear a long time ago to like leave him alone when he's eating and don't start interviewing about.
Which is why you sit over in the corner when you eat.
Yeah, there's also no room to eat here, but now I'm definitely going to stay away from Dot.
What do you got there?
I have to separate you guys permanently.
And finally, Polly, what did Seton mention he'd like to change?
Oh, man. It's probably like a lot of little things. That's the thing. I don't think I could think of one huge one. It might be the same. This is tough. There's probably like a dozen things I could reach for, but trying to win the game, I'd say same thing, being short-tempered maybe.
Okay, was it your temper?
I'd make him less edgy / nicer. Yeah. I think Paulie has this unique ability of making anything feel like it's about to be a fist fight. And it's like, is this okay? Like, all right, I'll give you back your pen. I didn't know that it was like, whoa. That would be the one thing.
Yeah, it's good to keep people nervous. Just a little worried that you might freak out.
Hey, sorry, I won't open the door. Jeez.
Congratulations, front row. 1-0, you win. Let's take a snack break, back row, but chew with your mouth closed. Up next, McLovin does his best Fritzy, bombs away. Welcome back to the box score. Fritzy, the subject of your all too frequent TMI, came up again today. What would you say is your bigger addiction? Late night television or tasty food?
I think by far the late night television. As much as I like the late night snacks, if I had to choose between the two, I would be a lot more panicked if the TV went out as opposed to there being a problem with the refrigerator. So I'll take the adult entertainment and, wait until the next morning to have a nice breakfast.
A caller asked you about how your TMI goes over at home, and you, of course, answered with TMI.
She gets very uncomfortable and feels like the rest of you that it's too much information, and why does the world need to know that?
Maybe we do. Stop right there. Let's just clean it up.
It's not always cheese doodles. Sometimes
I know,
it's pretzel sticks. Or you have to do some lo mein, bagel and cream cheese.
Usually I would let Fritzy make disgusting comments about his personal habits all day. But when Vin Scully's on hold, I was like, okay, is Vin Scully hear this? And I'm pretty sure he does. And so I was thinking to myself, let's tone it down just this once.
That's fair. That was a little awkward. I lost track of what we were doing, as I often do.
Now, Brock, what you didn't see there is me going like this and going like this to Fritzy, waving him. And I think Fritzy thought I was fanning him off because I did this for like a minute and he kept saying it over.
Maybe you were fanning the flame.
Right.
Keep doing it. Yeah. Keep doing it. Like, yes, this is better.
There was a definite miscommunication on what Paulie's signal was, and totally forgot that Vin was on hold. And obviously, our guests, when they're on hold, they can hear all the programming. So we got this legendary Hall of Fame broadcaster listening to what I was talking about, which was.
However, could you imagine if Vin came on and said, "I'll tell you, Dan, that guy's got some sex drive." Apparently, Fritzy, I've never seen a man go through so many towels in one
Busty
day.
Girls 4, underrated. That would be weird.
That's Linda Cohn.
Dr. Dog into her Chavez ravine. Guys, do your wives ever praise Fritzy's wife on how much she puts up with what Fritzy says on air all the time? Seton, start with you, please.
Yeah, I guess my wife does seem a little baffled by it. I mean, all of our wives kind of have to put up with a lot in different ways. I guess Fritzy's wife certainly has her work cut out for her. But yeah, she is sort of always baffled, and occasionally I get a, what in the hell's wrong with him?
Yeah, I get a lot of what in the hell is he doing from my wife about Fritzy, not about me, which is great, because I don't catch any heat. But I always wonder, like, if Todd's wife ever says, she must say to herself, it's a show, I know it's for the show, but is it real, is it not real? If it's real, is she okay with it at home, but not on the air?
Because there are times that it seems like it goes into, like, super real stuff.
Sure.
Oh my gosh,
real
I hope
creepy.
This is fake.
Right.
Yeah. My wife doesn't pay attention to any of this nonsense, but she thinks you are the best rapper in the world. She thinks they're two talented people, no offense to anyone else in the room. She thinks Dan's a great broadcaster and Fritzy is a great rapper. That's what she always talks about.
That's a nice compliment. But the guy's right. She lets it go for the most part. She's very understanding. But every once in a while will be, whether it's a dinner or just hanging out, watching TV or whatever we're doing, and she may refer back to a show. It may not even be from that day. It's like she collected something in her mind and put it in a drawer. Could have been like from several days or weeks ago. Remember when you said such and such in the third segment of hour 2? What did you mean by that? And I didn't realize that she had it saved in her back pocket.
Brock, let me ask you, whose wife of the 4 Danettes would you like Dan to interview if you could just pick one? I mean, I guess the answer is Fritzy's wife, but would you go off the board?
No, I would go with McLovin's wife. I think she would be absolutely fascinating. I think she would be intelligent, well thought out, and just talk about Chilean honeymoons and stuff.
Yeah, she could talk about the different areas of Patagonia, to Torre del Paine, and you got your El Calafate.
So you didn't go to Hawaii on your honeymoon. I'm for the Know Your Road.
I was trying to help you for the next Know Your Road, dude.
Chilean honeymoon.
What was this?
Honda Accord.
Yes, and in Philadelphia. McLovin, apparently you've been sitting too close to Fritzy because some of his traits, and I use this phrase cautiously, might be rubbing off on you.
And now there's no drinks. There's no women in there. There's no stacks. It's just those guys taking a picture. Yeah, McLeod.
What they don't know is it was actually taken on a money phone camera, a camera money phone. So it's a stack of money that acts as a phone and a camera.
Yeah, thank you, McLeod.
That's pretty solid. I really don't see the downside to that joke. You see, Johnny Manziel, you know the joke.
I didn't get it.
What do you mean you don't get it? What is there not to get?
I didn't understand what you were saying about a money camera phone. I didn't get it.
It doesn't actually exist.
I was trying to figure out what you meant.
It's a money smartphone. It's got apps on it.
Okay.
See, I thought you were saying, like, because he's Floyd Money Mayweather, that maybe Mayweather has his own line of cell phones that he's selling now, like sort of like D. Wade had like the T-Mobile thing, that maybe Floyd had that. And then I got around to like, oh yeah, that's right, because Johnny Manziel was using the...
Johnny Manziel has a money phone. Isn't it possible that the technology has gotten to the point where a money phone could have a camera in it as well?
Keep working it out. Keep working it out.
How else are you going to use Instagram on your money phone?
I don't get it.
Why do you think?
What do you mean you don't get it?
I'm more confused now. Money phone, I don't know.
Before we go, Paulie, can you clarify what's this whole shorts thing wearing tomorrow going on here?
We all picked the score of Belgium, USA, and the 3 guys who lose the bet have to wear shorts. Mostly because some of the guys in the room don't like wearing shorts, some do. None of us really wear shorts. Fritzy's the only one who wears shorts this year. Tomorrow's supposed to be 92 degrees, and if status quo, I'll also wear pants.
So did Dad do this so we could wear shorts? Like he wanted to wear shorts, so he set up this bet so he could wear shorts?
Kind of. I think it's just an excuse for us to wear shorts on a 90-degree day.
Yeah, and by the way, if you had a choice, Paulie, would you wear shorts tomorrow?
Yeah, I was probably gonna anyway because of the heat.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
Let's go to the man with the milky white, freshly shaven legs. Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
Eric Ronaldo, Landon Donovan will join us both to recap USA Belgium, and we will. I'm cheating. I'm looking at the board. Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory will join us from across the pond at Wimbledon as well.
Landon Donovan, oh my God! Thanks for watching the Box Score. Set your DVR or tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey! Thanks for watching the Box Score. Holy cow!